Specific heat. Specific heat is the amount of heat that raises the temperature of 1 gram of a substance by 1 degree Celsius. It varies for each different substance, and when we look at specific heat, the units for specific heat will be either joules per gram degree Celsius or calories per gram degree Celsius. So how do we approach solving specific heat problems? Well, first off, let's just look at this chart. And in the chart, you'll notice that we have many different substances listed. And then look at the values for each of these substances. The specific heat is different for each substance. So we can use the specific heat to help identify unknown substances. The nice thing about specific heat calculations is that they are basic algebraic problems, where we will fill in for a chemical equation and solve for x. So the guide to calculating specific heat is for us to list the given and the needed materials. Know what we have, know what we need to solve for. With temperature, we'll have to calculate a temperature change. We'll need to write the equation out, find out what's given, what do we solve for, fill in, find out where x is in our equation. Make sure we cancel out our units, do the math, and we've solved the problem. So right here we have the equation for specific heat, where we have our heat lost or gained, and this will be in joules or calories, and that will equal our mass, which will be given in grams or kilograms, times our change in temperature, which is typically going to be Celsius for our problems, times our specific heat. And our specific heat will be joules per gram degree Celsius or calories per gram degree Celsius. The number one question that I have when students are solving for specific heat problems is, how do I know where to plug my values? Well, remember that our mass will be in grams, our temperature will be Celsius, our specific heat will be calories per gram degree Celsius or joules per gram degree Celsius, and our heat lost or gained will be in joules or in calories. And if I know what each section of my equation is, and I know what units go with each of those, then I simply fill in my numbers and solve for x. So let's look at a specific heat problem. A hot water bottle contains 750 grams of water at 65 degrees Celsius. If the water cools to body temperature, which is 37 degrees Celsius, how many calories of heat could be transferred to the sore muscles? Let's start off with, what are we given? Well, we have 750 grams of water, so we have our mass. Notice that we have two temperatures. What we need to do is we need to do a subtraction. We'll do that in just a moment. We also need to know that the specific heat of water is 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. This is a standard. And anytime your problems give you water, and if you are looking at your homework problems from your workbook, most of those are dealing with water, so you will have a specific heat of 1 that you need to add to your equation. So what do we solve for? We need to find our heat lost or gained, which in this case will be calories. Now we know it's calories because we have been given calories per gram degree Celsius. Our grams and our Celsius will be canceling out in just a moment. Now let's get back to that temperature change. We had 65 degrees Celsius, we subtract the 37, so we will have a temperature change of 28 degrees Celsius. Now that we've identified what is present and what we need to solve for, let's write our equation. Our heat lost or gained, which will be calories, will equal our mass in grams times our change in temperature, which will be Celsius, times our specific heat. We were given 750 grams. That will go here. We had 28 degrees Celsius. That will be here. And we had water with a specific heat of 1 calorie per gram degree Celsius. Grams will cancel. Celsius will cancel, leaving us with calories. We do the math, and we have our specific heat of 21000 calories. Here we have one additional example problem. So read through the problem, hit pause, and let's see if you can solve for this. The answer will be on the next slide. Good luck. Well, how did you do on the problem? If we look at the problem, again, we have our formula. Q is going to be our heat lost or gained. M is our mass. C is our specific heat. Change in temperature. Now that we have those identified, it takes 487.5 joules to heat 25 grams of copper from 25 degrees to 75 degrees Celsius. What is the specific heat? In this case, C is our unknown. Fill in your numbers, solve for X. So we get 487.5 J equals 25 grams times X. Our temperature will have our 75 minus 25, so we have 50 degrees. When we solve for our specific heat, because we are in grams and we have Celsius and joules, our answer will be in joules per gram degree Celsius. And so here we have our answer. If you have any questions or if you have any concerns over any of these problems, please stop by my classroom for any additional help you may need.